So I'm here with Mark Zuckerberg, CEO and founder of Facebook, and new investor Yuri Milner from Digital Sky Technologies. Hey guys.
Hi.
First of all, congratulations up to both of you. You've got some more money, Mark, and Yuri, you've got a piece of Facebook. How much do you own? It's a $10 billion valuation.
1.96%.
1.96%. Plus, there'll be more when you buy common stock in a couple of months.
Yes.
Yeah.
Depends. We'll see how much.
Okay. Why did you invest in Facebook?
It's a great business.
You're comfortable with the $10 billion valuation?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I can repeat the reasons why. Basically, I think we have a very unique perspective on social networks monetization that other investors don't necessarily see. We see how social networks have been monetized in our part of the world, and we're just doing our math and coming up with the numbers that we feel very comfortable with going forward. So we don't really value this business on PE basis 2009.
Yeah.
But rather on kind of a longer term curve based again on our experience, and we're very confident that these numbers can be achieved.
And are you what revenue numbers are you looking at for 2009?
Well, we it's a question for Mark. We've done our due diligence, but I'm not sure I can disclose it.
Is it 550 million, Mark? Is that what you're telling investors?
Like anyone who's doing diligence on the company gets to see the forecasts. I mean, we've said three things about. I'm so confused about whether to look into the camera. Or
Camera's best. Yeah, it works
out.
Is it? Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we've said three things publicly about our finances for this year, and one is that we've been EBITDA profitable for 5 quarters. Another is that revenue is growing 70% year over year, at least, and that is we're really happy with, just given the economic climate. And then the third is that we expect that on our forecast we'll be cash flow positive in 2010 on the cash level that we had before doing this investment. So that really made it so that when we were thinking about doing this, we had a lot of optionality as to pick the partner that would be best for us, find the terms that would make the most sense for us. And a lot of the investments in the portfolio that Yuri and DST have were really attractive for us in terms of the insight and understanding that they have in the space. So you were just talking about this a bit, but it's really interesting how all of the different Russian social networks, which he has stakes in all of them, monetize in different ways, but all very effectively, right? So we're not looking at that and saying we want to do any of those specific models right now, but it is a very directional. It is an interesting directional indicator of how far we can expect things to scale. And I think, when coming up with the valuation analysis, I think that's why it was so simple for you to do. But that's kind of how we were thinking.
Would you have paid a higher valuation? What was your top
price?
That's
the question that you never ask after it's done. Because if I don't want to know the answer to that.
Yes, but I'd love to know the answer to that. Are you a Facebook user?
Yes.
When did you create your account?
It was not an extremely active account, but it will be more active now.
Yeah.
Especially
you're going to be clicking those ads, yeah. And you have friends?
I've been using more like local networks in Russia.
Okay.
But
you're going to stop doing that as much.
I will just use more.
You're going to social network a lot more. Yeah.
Yes. I'm just a big fan of social networks.
How popular is Facebook in Russia? Just on the streets talking to people, is Facebook the thing?
Among people who kind of travel a lot and had exposure to United States and some other countries, they do have accounts, but Russia is not exactly the place with multiple language skills.
Yeah.
So local networks kind of had an edge.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, going forward, it's not inconceivable that people will be members of 2 social networks. I mean, that's what we see in Russia. I mean, between our properties, I think about 30% of people just have multiple accounts, and they're not really migrating, which is interesting.
How do you feel about that? People on 2 different social networks. Does that work for you?
It's interesting and it's evolving pretty quickly. But sorry, I got to look at the camera now.
Just do whatever's comfortable. Yeah.
A lot of times people ask us about. This comes up a lot when we're talking about our platform strategy, right? Because people ask us, how we see the system evolving to become more open. And the way that I think about it is that in the early days of an industry, take for example like Apple with the PC, it really makes sense to have one company doing the whole thing to kind of birth the concept and bring it out to the market. But over time, if it's a really important industry, then what will happen is people will specialize and people will do different aspects of it, right? So just like happened with the PC, and you get companies that focused on chips, companies that